You can trade options from anywhere, but only if you have the right setups. Here's what I use for my trading, so I can trade anywhere in the world, including an ice road in northern Canada. Bit of a snowy one today, but it doesn't stop you from trading, especially when you use these 3 apps. Normally when I'm out here up north on the ice road, I just like to get out and pick up the scenery a little bit. You can see here, all the ice shacks are out here, but it's pretty cool that I'm able to come back and just open up these apps and just go trade and make a little bit of money. So the first app that I like to use is known as CNBC, and the only reason I use that app is just to get an idea of what's going on in the stock market, what's going on with kind of big news stories, anything from the Federal Reserve, interest rate policies, anything that can affect the economy, US, foreign, world, whatever. Just keep kind of a finger on the pulse, let's say. And that's kind of the first thing that I do. I scan through CNBC in the mornings as I'm trading, or thinking about trading, and then I go ahead and I just filter it down by the stocks that I have on my watch list. So I'll take like 10, 15 stocks, have them in the CNBC app, so I filter the news to get just those kind of companies' news stories, kind of filter the news down a little bit more, because there is a lot of background information that comes through these kind of apps that you don't need. You just need to be kind of just focusing on what is moving the needle for your company. On CNBC too, you can filter it by the watch list for your companies, or you can actually go in and just type in a ticker and just find the news for a company that way. So that's the big thing I use CNBC for, and it's good. I mean, you just have to have an idea of what's going on. You can't just go into trading blindly. It's hard to do. You can take tacticals so far, but when you have like a finger, like I said, on the beat of a company and the market as a whole, it's easier to kind of make decisions that way and combine your technical analysis with some data-backed insights. Coolest thing about trading from the ice road is that when you're out here and you hear the big cracks in the ice, it's more ice being made underneath you, but it's weird because it sounds like thunder kind of rumbling underneath, and it's kind of off-putting for the first time if you're out here. It's a loud boom of thunder underneath your feet, but it's just the ice road making more ice, getting thicker. 12 inches is plenty. We're pretty much 12, 14 inches up here now, ready to go. People are out here ice fishing, snow machining around. It's pretty sweet. Next app I like to use is for my technical analysis, called TradingView. I'm sure most of you guys have heard of that one, and it's for charting. It's for making sure your technicals are good on the chart, identifying patterns and seeing where trends may be emerging from. So when I'm in TradingView, I've got 4 kind of basic setups for my chart layouts that I look for. One's a more longer term setup for my selling of puts and kind of long-term trading. That's where I usually start, just because if I want to break it down and go long-term, and then I break it down into kind of short-term and more shorter time frames in terms of day trading, hourly, 15-minute, 5-minute charts. I'll do the long-term chart first with the day candlesticks on it, and I'll go from there. But you also have to have an idea and have your watch list kind of in there with those charts, so you're saving time and becoming more efficient when you're doing this and having the app set up this way. Just a bit of snow today, not too bad though. About -10 out here. Perfect conditions for trading. Honestly, it's beautiful. Beautiful to get out and get into nature and walk around while you can do this. That's the beauty of being able to trade anywhere. Take your phone with you, as long as you got Wi-Fi. If you don't have Wi-Fi or data out here, you can always get the Starlink thing and backpack on Elon Musk technology, get out here and trade. It's pretty sweet. One other point to mention is just having market data inside TradingView. You want to have the market data so you're getting actual up-to-the-minute, like live information. You're not trading on delayed time data by 5 or 15 minutes. It may not sound like much, but if you're doing that, it can really break your trading and kind of limit the amount of profit you can make and turn a 10% winning trade into a 5, or a 5 into a 0, or honestly a 2 or a 1 into a -3 or 4. So it make a difference if you don't have live data. So make sure you get that from TradingView when you're going to use the charting tools. If you're going to use it for trading, if you're going to use your own kind of trading platform like Interactive Brokers, Wealthsimple, Thinkorswim, something like that, you want to have market data for those instead. It just depends on what you're going to use for your charting and analysis. So yeah, TradingView is great for technical analysis. You break down the charts, you have your companies and filter the watch list, you go through it that way. And then after that, once I have an idea of what trades I want to make and what kind of companies I'm targeting for my trading, I'll take that one step further and I'll go into Interactive Brokers, which is a third app that I use when I'm out here trading on my phone or wherever I may be trading on my phone. It's a pretty sweet app. I'll go in, I'll pick my companies that I had on the charts in TradingView, and from there it's pretty simple. I just execute my game plan. I've got some kind of standard setups I use. One is for selling puts long term. I like to sell put contracts on companies that I want to own. So that's an easy one inside the options chain, Interactive Brokers. I'll go through and do that. If I don't want to actually own the stock, but I still believe there's an upward move, I may sell what's known as a credit spread and just sell a put, buy a put. Or if I think the stock kind of overvalued and could pull back, I might have a bear call spread where I'm just selling a call option and buying a call option to protect my downside and just kind of limit the risk there. So those are two kind of options trades that I like to make. And I'm going to go through here one shortly and just give you an idea of what it looks like on Apple. Apple's been beaten down lately. It's really pulled back to some kind of major technical levels. It just kind of stopped around the 200-day moving average, which means that I think it's primed for a bit of a bounce here. And it may go back down through that, but I'm hoping that it won't. I hope it's going to catch at the technical level. I'm going to build in some buffer for you and show you how to do it here, all on one kind of shot here on the trading app. But I'm going to actually make a trade here from the ice road to show you that it is possible, that you can do it from anywhere in the world as long as you have Wi-Fi. You know what you're doing, you have your app set up, you can be good to go. One more little view of what's going on out here. Lots of people ice fishing, doing their thing. I'm doing my thing, getting out for a little bit of exercise, going and making some trades and making a little bit of cash. That's my hope here with this trade with Apple coming up in a second. So for this Apple trade, you can see that on the chart, we've hit that 200-day moving average. That's a key level that technically usually holds up anyway for the first time, or it takes a huge event for it to push underneath that and to kind of stay below it. So my hypothesis, based on my 5 years of experience, not to say that I'm right or wrong, but just my hypothesis for this trade, is that it hits that level and it's going to bounce up. And I don't necessarily want to own Apple shares at 180 or just below that right now. I think it's a little bit overvalued still. So what I'm going to do is, instead of selling a put like I normally would, I'm going to do what's called a credit spread. And to do this, I'm going to sell a put at the 175 level, which gives me a little bit of a buffer in case Apple stock does go down a little bit more and I'm wrong. And I'm going to turn around and buy another put option with a little bit of a lower strike price, giving me the protection of ever having to buy some shares of Apple right now. Little snow machine going by in the background there, a couple kids going out and having a rip, having some fun, pretty sweet. That's the beauty of the ice road and trading up here. So yeah, I'm going to sell a put at 175 on Apple for 2 weeks out to expiration. I'm going to buy a put at 170, and the credit that I'm going to be paid, you can see it there. It's not life-changing cash. It's a small win, hopefully, and if you stack enough small wins and hit enough singles, as they say in the trading game, you can eventually score a lot of runs and long-term have a really great return in your portfolio. So that's what this trade is supposed to do for me. I'm going to just execute this, throw it in the hopper, and we will see what happens and how this progresses. I'm hoping, again, Apple is going to bounce up, and then I'm going to make a little bit of cash pretty quickly. And if it doesn't move, if it stays the same, I've got time decay working as I have 2 weeks till expiration, so it's going to be working pretty quick for me. Theta is what the Greeks call time decay, and that'll work for me as well. So I've got a couple things going for me here. The biggest one of all, of course, is, again, just being able to trade in this background, in this kind of scenario, with it being -10 on an ice road in Canada. Honestly, that's the biggest part, is location freedom, guys. And if you want to be able to go ahead and just put this in your pocket, put this phone and device in your pocket and trade from anywhere, once you understand what you're doing, you don't need much. You need a couple apps, a way to execute your trade, and some cash flow to get yourself started. You definitely need to do some research up front, and you don't get there by just kind of doing it once and just hoping for the best. It's all about doing it, practicing, making it happen time after time, learning, getting better, and eventually you can trade from anywhere and have location freedom, which is my ultimate goal for my trading account, is provide ultimate location freedom for my wife and I, so we can go places like this, like the ice road up here in Canada, more often, and just having a good time, having location freedom, not being tied down to a desk somewhere, being able to control your own destiny by trading mobilely anywhere in the world. Thank you for watching. Really appreciate you taking the time checking out the channel. If you want to see more content like this, I suggest you subscribe and follow along, as long as you get value and you like the videos. And I will see you on the next one.